Hey yo! Welcome to season 2 of the
Arts Block Podcast.
For Artists,
For artists,
by artists,
by artists.
so artists can talk about anything that we want and desire. I'm your host. I'm your what? I'm your host, Eric Curry the third. Getting bigger and better this season, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for the show. Hey yo! Welcome back to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III, and today we have a request from Miss Jordan Jones. Shout out to Jordan. We have a singer, a songwriter, artist in her own right, my first visual arts person on the podcast, so this is exciting for me. We have Miss Neiori on the podcast. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Woo! I hope I'm saying your name right. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you're saying my name right.
Okay, cool. Whew, I was worried about that. But how are you though? How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You said that you were nervous before we started. Why are you nervous?
I'm really not good at conversation, so I'll say this over and over again.
But this is nothing to be like worried about. This is just a small little podcast that only a few people are going to see, and maybe thousands of more in the future. But let's just jump straight into it. Your first well, I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure, but I know that you're a visual arts student, so I'm guessing that your first love was drawing. What kind of drew you into drawing, and when did you start doing that?
I'm gonna be honest. Drawing was not my first love, but I'm gonna act like.
What was it though? Wait, hold on. What was it? If it's not drawing, what is it?
I have always loved music. I used to be in choir, but I quit. So it was my second love.
Why did you quit?
I don't know. I just felt like choir. I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up at all. Like they were like, I don't know. I don't do good with like listening to directions, so it was terrible. It was terrible.
And like drawing gave you that like freedom that you wanted to have. What made you? Then I'm really curious. Then what really made you start drawing, since that was like your second love?
Well, first off, my mom was really good at drawing, but for some reason, like, she stopped drawing. So I was like, okay, well, since she was interested in this, like, let me get into this and see what it's all about. Mm-hmm. So then I started like doing my own thing, sketching. Not gonna lie, I copied a lot of other art.
But hey, the best art is still though.
You're right.
Best art is still. So yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was a kid, so I don't copy now. Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
All right, then what's the story behind music? You say that you were in the choir. What got you into the choir? Did you grow up around music at all? Like, I'm really curious.
Yes, I did. My dad is a rapper, and my mom is also a singer. But she's mainly into theater, I guess. And I don't know. They always like tried to get me into music and stuff. So I was like, okay, why not? Because I always like love singing, like around the house, like yeah. So that's pretty much it. What was the other question? I forgot. Okay.
I'm bad at this hosting thing. I don't even know why I'll be watching this podcast, to be honest. But do you play any instruments? Like, Oh no! So you just sing?
I play around with instruments. I have one right here.
You play around with instruments. Same thing.
This instrument. It's a kalimba, but I don't.
My mom has one of those.
Really?
Yes.
My dad. I love it so much.
Yeah, I love those too. They're so fun. So I listened to your music. My favorite song of yours is "Say It." That's an amazing song.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Charlie Donnie. Who hurt you? Who are you talking about in these songs? What is Come on, get into it. Get into it. Come on.
I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but the song was pretty much about like unrequited love,
Mhm.
uh, or is that the word for it? Just
Mhm.
I don't know. Just it gets to a point where sometimes where it gets really bad,
Yeah.
and they start like treating you like a ghost. Like they're like, deuces.
Yeah.
But I was still like, oh my gosh, like I love you. Oh my gosh, like don't leave. And he was like, no. So yeah, I was
They get
basically
you
like,
like that sometimes.
say that you want me.
Yeah.
Like please,
Yeah.
please.
It's hard. It's hard to like let go, especially if you have that type of feeling. So I definitely understand like where that came from. And
Mhm.
then Skater Girl, that's also my joint with my girl Jordan's on it. Then and she produced it too. I didn't know she produced it until like a couple weeks ago when I started like researching. But yeah, she produced it too. So what's y'all relationship? How did that start?
Well, that is my cousin.
Oh,
Yeah. Her dad is my uncle, but we don't talk a lot. But almost every weekend I go over to Jordan's house and we make music.
that's
So,
dope. So do y'all have like more music that we don't know about?
I'm gonna say, yeah, Winky Face.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my other question about because you only have three singles out, and your other one, Crush, that you just put out on Valentine's Day. Am I correct? Yeah. So you put that out on Valentine's Day, and my question is, why is that so short? Why is Crush so? As soon as I really started like getting in my vibe, and I started doing my little sway, it was over. The whistling started. I was like, no.
I'm sorry. It was meant to be a short. There's
Why is it
nothing I
so
can do
short?
about that. It was just like a little in the moment. Yeah, yeah, get it.
Gotcha. Mm,
Uh, I'll definitely try and make like a new like interlude, like transition.
please, because I love Crush. But my like next like actual question for you is like you have a really unique style of music. I would say personally your style is really unique and really different. So what kind of inspired that style or who inspired that style for you to create like that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Whenever someone asks this question, I completely forget. So I'm gonna try and remember. Um, One of my favorite artists is Bia Badoobie, and I guess that like her relationship with her boyfriend kind of inspired the song,
Mhm.
just because I love like seeing other people in love. It's so beautiful. So
So
yeah.
do you love seeing people's posts on Valentine's Day and
Oh
you
no, I didn't love seeing people's posts on Valentine's Day.
oh good, me too. I felt the same.
Yeah, I had to swipe away. I could not do it.
Couldn't do it. I had to stay off Instagram and Twitter all day. I was just just kind of hurt me a little bit. And would you put your music in like if you had to, right? Because I know like a lot of singers, a lot of rappers, they don't like putting their music into categories. But if you had to put your music into a category, what category would you put your music?
I would have to say bedroom pop.
That's some,
I don't know what else to say. It's like yeah. I don't know if you know what that means, but
no, I got you.
okay.
I definitely got you.
Okay.
And I just and I also find it very funny that you put out your first single at the end of 2020. Like that's when it was out on SoundCloud. Then it
Mhm.
came on all streaming platforms in 2021. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. How do you feel? How is that?
I'm just really like happy because of all the support that I got from that song. Like I didn't even expect for the TikTok that I made about it to
Mhm.
blow up. But I wake up and this thing is like at 100,000 views, and I'm just like, oh, oh, like, and then I see like the numbers just increasingly going up on my song, like people listening to it. It's like, wait, I didn't even expect for this to happen. Like, what? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah.
It was like
So,
that kind of like surreal moment. Like,
hmm
yeah. I feel like that happens to like a lot of different artists. Like they don't expect to blow up. They just put it out and be like, oh, whatever happens, happens. And then it just happened to be good. What happened just happens to be good.
I just put it out like hoping for one person to see it, and then just like a bunch of people saw it, and I was like, oh Lord.
Is that scary though? Is that like a scary feeling of, all right, I'm putting this out. Dang, I don't know who's going to see, I don't know who's going to listen to it, but if one person listens to it, I'm thankful. Like, is that a scary feeling? Then you end up finding out thousands of people have listened to this song.
Well, it was actually, I don't know,
Mhm.
because it was kind of like this song wasn't just meant for one person. I
Mhm.
mean, it was in that moment,
Yeah.
but in that moment, well, every moment after that, it was meant for every person that listened to it.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Yeah, my bad. My
It's all
bad. But
good.
yeah,
You're kind of like, it's like grateful in a sense, right?
very. I'm
Mhm.
very, very grateful.
So 2020, right? It's been a crazy year for all. I can't even say for most. For all, it's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
Throughout a pandemic, throughout the stretch of the last little stretch of a crazy presidency and a crazy campaign runs and election, right?
Mhm.
How did you stay creative? How did you keep creating? How, like, wait, actually, no, before you answer those questions, my first questions to you is what made you want to say, like, what made you want to put out the song? What made you want to put out Say It when you officially put it out?
Um, okay. Well, the answer to your second question, um, what made me want to put out Say It was basically I stayed up all night, like making this song, like it hit me. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh my gosh, like this actually like slaps. And I did this all by myself. Because usually Jordan helps me with everything, but I did that one by myself.
That's
And
good.
so I was just like, I couldn't stop listening to it. I literally stayed up. I did not go to sleep that night. And
Mhm.
I have to put this out. And the lyrics, yes, because I made it for that one person.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And the second question, I I'm so being a visual artist is really hard to get inspired, especially at this time. So I was stuck like completely. So I was like, let me take up something else other than visual art.
Mhm.
So I pulled out the type beats on YouTube and was like, get to singing. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to all the type beat artists. Everybody that
uh,
started from the type,
uh,
got to start from somewhere. Hey, everybody had a type beat moment in their life.
I
Hey,
still use type beats, not gonna lie.
still use type beats. Hey, from the gutter. Hey, nah, ain't nothing wrong with still using type beats.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with using type beats. But that's
Like,
dope though. Why is it hard, right? And I don't know this because you're like the first like actual visual artist that I've ever talked to,
mhm.
like in an actual conversation. Why is it so hard for you all to get inspiration? Because I heard that before, but I never like asked why it's that hard.
I think it's hard because we interpret art based on things that we see every day. And
Mhm.
so when we're like in the house all the time, how are we supposed to get inspired from things that we see like all the time? Like when you go out the house, you basically like you get new experiences and new emotions and new but like being inside the house, you feel trapped and kind of forced to work.
Mhm.
But hold on, I just lost my thought. But you feel forced to work, and yeah, the thought is gone. Yeah, that's it. My girl.
But isn't that something? And I don't know because again, I'm not a visual artist. I'm in theater, so I don't know what's good to draw or not. But isn't that like a good drawing to like draw like, oh, I'm feel trapped, or like draw the emotion that you are feeling currently?
It's like okay, the drawing the emotion you feel currently is good and all, but
Mhm.
you have to have motivation to draw it. It's a lot of unmotivation happening just because your house is not a business space. So when you're in an artsy space, you feel like inspired to do work and like push to do work. But
Mhm.
when you're in your house, it's just like I'm just gonna lay in my bed all day, like
Yeah, I got you. And
mm,
so to go back to still on this 2020 topic, how has 2020 been for you personally? Like, how have you been? How have you felt? How have you been managing and going through? Well, how did you go through it?
I was about to say 2020 or 2021.
No, 2020.
Okay, because you talking
2020.
about 21. Okay, well, 2020 was horrible. It was
Terrible.
also because I went through a really bad breakup,
Mm,
but thus coming up with that song. But I don't know. It was just like a lot of things started to feel like heavy.
mhm.
Like my mental health started like declining
Yeah.
in 2020. Um, my mom had went to the hospital.
Mhm.
Um, it was just a lot going on, and it was just hard to focus. So I was so like trapped in my own emotions, and it was like hard. So it was not 2020 was not good for me.
Do you feel free now, like of your emotions? Like, do you feel free?
Definitely, yeah, yeah.
When did that happen? When did you start feeling like, okay, I'm free. I got this weight off my shoulders.
As soon as I put it on Say It, actually, I was just like, all my emotions, they're gone. They're in that song. Goodbye. It's time to move on.
That's a that's a great thing to like to put out something because I agree. Like that's a great way to just let something go, like an emotion. Yeah, that's dope. And I'm sorry, I'm reading these questions. Um, oh, do you make your cover art?
Yes, I do. I do. I make all of them.
They're really good.
Thank you.
You're really good. I low key wish I'm like met you so you can make my logo.
Oh,
Like, for
I can still.
nah, but shout out to Santiago though. Shout out
Oh,
to Santiago. I'm just playing. But nah, but you you are really dope. Your style is really dope, and not just talking about like your style of music, but like your actual fashion
thank
sense,
you.
your fashion style.
That makes a lot. I mean, that means a lot. Oh my god. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What inspired that style, and does that style translate to your music?
I'm gonna be honest. No, it is not. I switch up my style so much in like a week, a day. It
Mhm.
does not match my music. My music is like cutesy, like, ah. And my style is just like the opposite.
Yeah,
Like it's just like,
mhm.
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But um, but what inspires it, I guess, is I don't know. I just pick up clothes and whatever matches. So I'm just like, okay, swag, yeah.
got you. Copy, copy. And I want to ask this question before we sadly get into the negative.
Negative.
It's not that negative. Don't worry, I'm over.
Oh, okay.
Is there a potential album on the way?
Uh,
Something you have to
yes.
do with something.
I've actually been planning an EP with Jordan. It might come out soon.
Yes.
Hopefully, the confidence to drop it. But yeah, yeah.
Everybody who's watching this, please go at her or under these comments, give her the confidence to drop this EP. Please, we need it. We need it. But sadly, we have to get into the negative, kind of. Um, so I'm gonna ask you this question. Answer how you want. Charlie had a hilarious answer to this last week. Do you or do you not go to Duke Ellington School of the Arts?
Huh? What?
do you or do you not go to Duke Ellington School of the Arts?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, do you go to the school? Like, do you attend?
I mean, I go, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't go. I don't. I'm sorry. You
But you
cannot
are,
catch me up in
but
Duke
you
Zoom
are
class.
a junior, right?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Um. So you're a senior. So this answer should actually be really good.
Okay.
I want your honest opinions on Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And since you're a senior, I'm expecting the good answers because
Oh my.
that's what
Well,
I'm going with.
um, Duke, I hope you don't see this.
They probably will.
I'm going to be honest. Duke was one of the worst and best schools that I've ever went to.
Oh, that took a turn. Whoa.
I don't know. Just my whole experience at Duke was so weird. I
Mhm.
feel like I miss Duke, but not for the school. The school was terrible. I miss Duke for my friends,
I feel
and
like everybody does. I feel like that's at
that's
everybody.
it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like Duke kind of brought out my this is a TMI, my mental health issues,
Mhm.
and it just made it worse. It continuously got worse, and as soon as I left school, it was like, oh, so much better. Like you could tell, it was a weight off my shoulders. But I don't even go to these Zoom classes no more. I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I just can't. Duke, it's I don't even know how to explain it. Just the whole energy of it is terrible. I'm sorry. But maybe not for the other departments, but just visual arts, just they treat you like your children. Of course we're supposed to be treated like children
Mhm.
because we are children. But they treat us like none of our experiences oops, I messed it up. None of our experiences that we've ever been through matter,
Yeah.
I guess, in a way. And so they belittle us.
Mhm.
And this is probably just my department.
No, it's not.
But okay, well, yeah. They definitely like make it seem like our experiences are small compared to what they've been through.
Mhm.
Um that's I always used to get in trouble with authority at Duke, like all the time. Mama Hollis knows me because I've always been her office. Um, yeah, I just me and the school don't have a good reputation.
Why did you get in trouble? You used to like question?
No, just because when people would do like wrong stuff to me or treat me bad, I would call it out and they would get mad at that. So I was always in her office, especially I'm not gonna say teachers because I've only had one bad experience with one teacher.
Mhm.
But yeah, you know Mr. McGee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he called me a little B word, and he kicked me out for like 2 months because I wore a hat in class, and I was like, that seemed a little anti-black. Not gonna lie.
Did seem a little
Um,
black. Fried.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
and I was like, what am I doing? I first off, I didn't want to show my hair. I wore the hat for a reason in school.
Yeah.
I don't see that's as like a reason to get kicked out for 2 months.
And the hat isn't bothering you. It's not doing nothing to you. Like,
Respectful to wear hats in buildings.
teachers, y'all gotta do better.
I don't understand this.
Teachers, y'all gotta do better. Um, but throughout all the bad, is there any good that you went through and do?
Yes, I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You're, um, I have had some good experiences with teachers after the bad experiences.
Okay.
They're like at an equal, like good and bad. They've helped me learn a lot just about myself personally. The school did not grow me. I kind of grew myself, developed my own art style and stuff.
It'd
They
be like
didn't really do that. but they are very good mentors, and I would not regret learning from them. So, but the school, they can go.
Just the school itself can go.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have this question.
Mhm.
Why didn't you join vocal?
I am very how do I say this without sounding insecure? I'm not confident in my voice at all. I was about to join vocal, but I was like, you know what? It's a safe bet to go in visual arts. I don't want to risk it. So yeah, I went to visual arts. Nothing else.
Do you regret your decision now?
Oh,
Do you regret your decision now of going to visual arts instead of vocal?
um, I'm gonna say, just 'cause I know that vocal is like really hard
Mm-hmm.
for the people that are in there, and I congratulate them on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like vocally, I would have been trained better if I went into vocal.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't do good with listening to directions, so it was not for me.
Got you.
Yeah.
And when, well, won't say when, but are you ever going to put out some artwork? Because I was looking on your Instagram, seeing a lot of the artwork that you be doing and drawing, and I'll be looking at it, I'm like, bro, I will buy some of this stuff.
No, I have a whole art page.
You do?
Yes, I sell art. I
Oh,
sell art. You just missing out.
I am missing out. I gotta look that up. What's your art page? Tag it.
It's I Heart Ski,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, hold on, look this. I think it's a 3 and a 4
Mm-hmm.
in the name. It's I Heart 3 4 Ski, but the E and the A are 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely link that in the bio because I definitely want some art.
Okay, bomb. I think because of COVID, my prices are low. So
Ooh, perfect.
okay.
Um, Huck's is a little slim, but thank you so much for coming on to our Arts Blog podcast. But before you go, this is a tradition that we do on the Arts Blog podcast. It's a segment called Dead or Alive. Now, hello, everybody who's just tuned into the Arts Blog podcast. If this is your first time watching the Arts Blog podcast, hello. And if this is your last time watching the Arts Blog podcast, well, goodbye. But to everybody here right now, Dead or Alive is a segment where the artist that I have on the podcast gets to choose who they would like to work with that is dead or alive. Now, you can choose one artist or you can choose 100 artists. Please don't choose 100 artists because I still got to edit this podcast. But yeah, do you dead or alive?
Alive. I want to work with Childish Gambino because I love him.
I was just watching Atlanta before this.
I was literally just listening to all his music. He has no bad albums.
Yeah.
No bad albums. I love him. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
pick.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Wait, I'm supposed to say more than one?
If you want to.
Oh. Biba Doobie.
Okay.
You don't know who that is.
No, I don't.
Okay. Who else? I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say for now because my thoughts aren't together.
This is a hard thing.
It's hard to think about on the spot.
Yeah, think on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on the Arsenal podcast. This is a great episode, a great podcast. Do you have anything you want to plug? Your music, your Instagram, your arts page that I'm going to check out and get some art from you.
Okay. Well, my main is me or I. I usually. Oh, it says listen.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. My main page is me or I. I post like music on there or like updates about music. Also selfies. I hate those. But anyways, yeah, my art page is I Heart Ski, as I said earlier, and nothing else. I think that's it.
Nothing else? You sure?
Yeah. Wait.
I
Check out my Spotify, Neiori.
yes.
That's it.
All these links will be in the description. But yes, thank you, everyone. One person, a million people, whoever's watching this podcast for listening and watching the Arts Blog podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. You can follow the podcast at the Arts Blog Podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on post notifications.
Yeah, do all of
Be
that.
notified every time we post. Make sure y'all do all that. If you listening on Apple Podcast, look. A round of applause. That means y'all got to do it now. If you listening on Apple Podcast, make sure you give me a 5-star and review. If you
5 stars.
just give me no stars and no review. Yeah,
Nope.
please, because you.
No, not that. We going for 5 stars and
5 stars and a review. Don't mess up my pockets, please. I'm begging you.
Mhm.
If you're listening anywhere else, shout out to you. Remember that artists never die. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.